Can y'all hear me? Let me know. I'm struggling over here. I don't know what's going on. Let me know if you can hear me. Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'll wait a couple of minutes and see what's up. Hey, everybody. How are ya? What is going on? Hi, Mikhail. Welcome in. I was struggling a little bit trying to go live. Just a little bit. But y'all come on in. Hey, Colin. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? Thank you, Mikhail. I hope I'm saying your name right, Mikhail. I love me some tacos. Are you talking about the tacos or my real picture? My real picture or my tacos? But yeah, y'all come on in. I want to tell you a little story. If y'all care to hear it. If you don't, that's cool too. That is cool. That is cool. The tacos. Okay. Yeah. I love tacos. You like tacos, Mikhail? I'm good. Just keep it real. What's my first name? Colin, are you asking me what's my first name? It's Maria. Maria. Hey, Susie. How are you? Sweetness. Hope you're having a good day, Susie. Yeah, that's my first name. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, babe. Kimberly, you always make me smile all over the YouTubes. I always look forward to seeing you welcome me into chats, Kimberly. You are definitely someone that brings positivity a lot, and I appreciate that. So I wanted to come live today to talk about my own personal My 23 and Me experience. So can y'all just drop, I don't know, I guess ones in the chat if y'all have ever done, ancestry, DNA, or My 23 and Me. You're welcome. You're so welcome. I just want to tell y'all about the experience that I had with 23andMe. Thank you very much, Maria. Nice to finally meet you. My real name is Colin. We know. And I only have this channel on here. Can't give you my email. It's my full name. I only have one email. No, Colin, you never have to hush over here. Colin, we love you over here. And if you ever, want to say anything, you're always welcome. You're always welcome. So, does anybody have a 23andMe or an Ancestry.com or whatever kind of story? Has anybody ever done that? No Ancestry DNA, just the hard work my mom and family did with our family tree. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Susie. So I have a little bit of a different story, and I guess I'll just go ahead and dive on into it. I have never personally done a DNA, Ancestry DNA, or 23andMe, but my daughter did. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Hey, Mama Sita. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in, Mama Sita. No, because my history of my family comes in a family Bible. It goes back. Okay, Colin, that's cool. So I'll tell you a little bit of a background about me. Um, Not proud of this, but it's the truth. I am the product of a teenage love affair. My mother was 15 years old when she got pregnant with me, and my bio mother, and my bio father was 18, I think. Pretty sure he was 18. And back then, it was kind of not good for that to happen. Even though it did happen, it was, they were shunned. So that's kind of what happened. And my bio dad up and left and ran for the hills and left my bio mom to deal with the consequences. And the consequences were, or the consequence was, she had me as a very, very young mother. And I'm very sympathetic to what she had to go through. And I admire her for going through that, especially in the era that she was, living in, because again, it was very looked down upon. But fast forward, I have 4 beautiful grown children who I adore with everything in me. And one of my children, my oldest, actually decided that she would do a 23andMe. And I was like, all right, I support you, whatever. And she did it, and she got the results back, and she FaceTimed me so that we could look at the results together. And we were just mostly curious about you know, where did we come from? Who are we? What makes us who we are? But the interesting thing is this. From my bio father, I have 2 biological half brothers. From my biological mother, I have 1 biological half sister. And as far as I knew, that's all that I had, right? 2 half brothers and 1 half sister. Well, my daughter submitted her DNA to 23andMe, and we FaceTimed to read the results together. And the results revealed to her that she had a male first cousin. I hope I'm telling this right. Yes, a male first cousin on her maternal side. So, maternal being myself, and my sister has no children. Okay. My brothers, my half brothers from my bio dad, they each have 1 daughter. Okay. So my daughter, I hope I'm not confusing y'all because it took me a minute. But my daughter was getting a hit that on my side, she had a first cousin that was a boy. But that's impossible because my brothers each have 1 girl, right? So I was like, what the hell? Like, who is this first cousin of hers on my side that is a boy? Okay, so I hope y'all are following me. If you're not, ask me questions in the comments and I'll try to answer you. But I think I'm laying it out pretty clear. So, one thing that you can do on the 23andMe is you can allow like your name and your age, your email address. Like there's certain things that you can allow for people to contact you. Excuse me, to contact you. So the one thing that this first cousin male boy allowed was his first and last name, which interestingly enough happens to be my bio dad's last name. And let's be honest, I would say 99.9% of the world is on Facebook. So I got this person's name from my daughter's 23andMe, and I looked him up on Facebook, and y'all, he is the spitting image of my oldest son. Spitting image. But here's my struggle. So this is what this tells me. My 2 brothers have daughters. So that's not my child's, first male cousin. So the only answer is my bio dad has another child who had a son. So who is this other child who is my unknown sibling? Is it a female? Is it a male? But anyway, I looked up this boy on Facebook, and I know his name, and he looks exactly like my oldest son. So I know he is my nephew. But here's my concern. Do I reach out to him and open that can of worms and disrupt his life? Or do I just sit back and leave it alone? Right, Allie Sampson? Like, and I don't know if I've explained this to the best of my ability, but I've tried. But basically, this is definitely my nephew, but I don't have any nephews to my knowledge. But the DNA says otherwise, right? So, do I reach out to him and say, because he did a 23andMe too, which is why my daughter was able to see him as her first cousin. So he's definitely my nephew. It is a lot to process, Allie. Absolutely. Hey, wrong Citry man. Hey, everyone. Still stuck at work, and I saw you were on, so I thought I would hop on and say, hey, my friend. Good to see you here. You would be curious. I am curious, and you know, again, he is my son's twin. Like, there is zero doubt in my mind that this boy is, and I don't want to say boy, I need to stop saying this. A young man is my nephew. And the crazy thing is, I've kind of stalked him on Facebook a little bit, and he is the exact same age as my son. So it's very, yeah, he's definitely my nephew, is my point. But I don't want to disrupt his life. Do you know what I mean? I would ask him if his parents have any siblings. Well, Sicilian, they obviously do. I see what you're saying, but they do, and I am that sibling. But what bothers me is why, and I have been in contact with my bio dad. Why is he hiding this shit from me? Like, if I have other siblings out there, dude, like, you're getting old. And if I have siblings out there, like, fucking come clean about it. Like, it's already determined that I have another sibling out there that I don't know about. And that's the part that pisses me off. He hasn't reached out to your daughter yet. No, he has not. He has not, Mamacita. And that's my thing, where I'm stuck. Like, I don't want to upset this young man's life in any way, but at the same time, he is my sibling's child, and I don't know who that sibling is. And I'm very much all about family. And if I have another sibling, I'm going to get emotional, y'all. Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay. If I have another sibling out there, I definitely want to know that sibling, because what my bio mom and my bio dad did back in the day, I don't care about that. But if I have a brother or sister out there, I want to fucking know. You know what I'm saying? I had my cousin reach out to me. Nice, Sicilian. I love that. Maybe he didn't know it might have been a one night stand. Um, that's a good point, Sicilian. However, when I looked up this young man on Facebook, he has the same exact last name as my bio dad. So I know it's his grandchild because they have the same last name. It's just how do I approach this situation? So the fact that he has the same last name kind of tells me that his parent, whether it's a male or female, is definitely my sibling, no doubt. I mean, DNA doesn't lie. You know what I mean? Hey, Quirky. Hey there, my sweet girl. How are you? Are you sure there's no more surprises, Maria? Colin, no, I'm not sure. That's why I wanted to talk about this today because it really bothers me because if I have another sibling, and I know I have a nephew, right? But I want to know who this sibling is because I love my family. And even if I don't know who this person is, um, I would welcome them with opening arms. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely, I would, because I love my family, and the more the merrier, you know. Well, I've been wanting to do an ancestry myself on me and my family. Like I have a sister and three brothers that I know. Yeah, Mama Sita. I mean, I would just say proceed with caution and just be ready for whatever happens. I haven't done one yet, and all this information came from my daughter doing one. I love how squishy you are. I don't know what that means, but thanks. Colin, you never have to shut up over here. Ever, ever, ever. How many men signed the birth certificate? All I'll say is keep your mind open. Yes. Oh, absolutely, Colin. Absolutely. And I am welcome to anything that I ever um, find out. May I ask you find this out by doing 23andMe? Angelina, my daughter, did a 23andMe, and it showed that she had a first cousin, a male first cousin that none of us knew about on my father's side, which would mean that I have a sibling who had a boy that I never even knew existed, nor did I know the sibling existed. Because his siblings that I know of from his side both have daughters, not sons. Your bio father should be honest with you, but remember, it may be a can of worms you may not want. Yes, Sicilian. Sicilian princess. Exactly. Exactly. And to be fair to my bio father, I have not asked him about this person because I just haven't been ready to yet. And, um, but here's the thing, he's getting older and he's not the best. He's not in the best of health. And I surely as hell don't want him to die before I know who this other sibling is. You know what I mean? Yes, you're welcome. Tenderhearted. Okay, squishy means tenderhearted. Okay. Yeah, I can be. You do have more things to find out. I know. I know, Colin. I just, here's my thing. I just don't want to upset anybody's life. Does that make sense? I never want to do that, but at the same time, if I have another sibling out there, male or female, I want to love on them, and I want to get to know them, and I want to get to know this nephew who I 1,000% know is my nephew, right? I am all about that shit. And by the way, this nephew of mine lives in the same town as a known verified uncle of mine. So I know I have another sibling. I just don't know if it's a male or female, and I have to know, y'all. It's killing me. Like, I have to know. But how do I go about this? I feel like I should just reach out to the nephew and just bite the bullet. But it sounds like you have a brother. That was my initial thought, Sicilian Princess, unless I have a sister and she just never changed her name. And then she got pregnant and had this nephew of mine. You know what I mean? Like, it could be several scenarios. Like, I don't know. But again, I don't want to upset this young man's life in any way. I would never want to do that. So, kind of struggling with it like that. My daughter's uncle's aunt did one each. The aunt found out she's not a sister of two brothers and three sisters. It devastated her, just wanting to show the record. It's my daughter's father's. Oh, gosh. Woo! Angelina, that made my brain hurt. Mamacita. But what's the sad thing about my one sister and three brothers? I have only one brother that is close to me and has anything to do with me, dude. I understand, Mamacita. I understand, and I'm so sorry to hear that, but I can actually relate to you. I'm very sorry, and I'm sending you hugs. Oh, thank you, Angelina. I try. I hear you. Just go carefully. I will, Colin. Like, I never want to upset anyone's life, and I haven't. Like, I've sat on this for months now. I've known about this for months, but if I have a brother or a sister out there, I just want to love them. That's it. That's it. But how do you go about it? It's a it's a slippery slope. You know, what do you do? I'm sorry, I just want everyone to know it's serious when doing these things. Yes, I agree. I agree, Angelina. You're right, which is why I've sat on this for so long. I mean, I don't obsess over it or anything like that, but family is just so important to me. And um, I don't know. It just is. I don't know how else to say it. Thank you. Just keep it real. You're so sweet. Oh, thank you, Mamacita. You're so sweet. Honestly, don't know how I would deal with that. I know it's crazy, Sicilian Princess. I don't, I don't know what to do. Hey, hey there, DeVoice. Hey, my friend. Fancy meeting you here. But I appreciate you subbing up to me, DeVoice. You're such a nice guy. Hey, Elizabeth. I'm doing well. I am doing well. Good evening. Good evening. Your nephew did 23andMe, and I exactly, Susie. You're exactly right. He did it too, but the only thing he shared was his first and last name, which happens to be my bio dad's last name, which is fucking suspicious, right? So that tells me, is his parent my brother or my sister? I don't know. I don't know. Maria, who do you think put this in your head? Just letting you know. And she's glad you're finding it out. Well, Colin, who put it in my head is my oldest daughter did a 23andMe, and it revealed that she had a first cousin on my side who was a boy. Well, the only first cousins on my side that we know of are girls. So that would tell me I have another sibling that gave birth, whether it's, the father or the mother, to a male. So, yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. But yes, Susie, you're right. My nephew, obviously did do a 23andMe, but he gave us limited information. He did give his first and last name, which was cool. And I'm not going to say it on here. I'd never do that. But that's how I was able to find him on Facebook. And again, he is the fucking twin to my son. So my son and this dude would be first cousins. And y'all, they look like they could be twin brothers. So I know this is my nephew. I just want to know, who is his parent, my brother or my sister? That's all I want to know. Damn, I give you some first cousins that are male. I know, right? So it's just kind of a crazy story. So basically, I know that I have a nephew out there, and I just don't know how to approach this situation. And I don't want to wait too long, because life is short. And if he would be open to having a fairly large family, we would all love on him for all the days of our life. We would. So do it slowly. Yeah, I know, Sicilian Princess. I haven't done anything besides tell y'all about it and a few other people, but publicly, I've only told y'all about it. And it's just crazy to me that you can submit, your DNA and find out you have a nephew that you never knew existed. And if you have a nephew that you didn't know existed, you obviously have a brother or a sister, in my case, that I didn't know existed. And I promise you, if I knew who they were, oh my God, I would be so happy. Like, I love family. I love family. Again, the more the merrier. Let's do this thing, right? I just don't know what to do. I hate to leave good company. I gotta get my fur babies fed. You all are so beautiful, and have a blessed night, God bless. Thank you, Mama Sita. You go feed your fur babies. Thank you for dropping in. I'm really not going to stay on that much longer. I just wanted to share my 23andMe experience. Through my daughter, who actually did it. I haven't done it, but I'm thinking about doing it now. Like, who the hell knows? Apparently, my bio dad was a hoe, right? He's out there making babies everywhere. Right? But I do know him. I do talk to him occasionally. I have not been able to ask him this question. I mean, I already know the answer. I have another sibling. But would he even tell me? Does he even know? Like, I think somebody said earlier, maybe my sibling is a product of a one night stand. Maybe so. Like, maybe he doesn't even know. But the fact remains, DNA don't fucking lie. It just don't. Yeah, Sicilian Princess, we thought about her reaching out, but she just wasn't that interested in it, and I didn't want to, push her to do that. It's not her cross to bear, so to speak. So, and she's just not as interested in it as I am, and I get that. I'm gonna respect that. I know y'all can hear my dogs, they're just playing. He lives in the same town as your uncle. Yes, he does. Are you sure he's your uncle? Yes, I am. 1,000%. My bio dad's sister was told my dad was her uncle. Told her bio sister. This was in 1940s. Oh wow! But yes, I'm 1,000% certain that he lives in the same town as my uncle, and that is 1,000% my uncle. Yes, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it, no doubt. Going back in them days, they didn't have TV. Just saying. Funny story, Colin. Apparently, I was the product of. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna stop right there and not disrespect my mother. I'm gonna stop. They actually were siblings adopted within the family to cover up the predator. Wow, Allie. Wow, that's crazy. Now, that's a story I would like to hear. That is a story I would like to hear. I mean, I'm not ashamed, where I came from. I have overcome all of that. Hold on, let me get on to my dogs. Hold on, y'all, because I know they're getting on y'all's nerves. Sorry, y'all. They were just playing, but I know the growling was getting on y'all's nerves. So they were siblings adopted within the family to cover up pregnancies out of wedlock. Yeah, like it's crazy to me because, you know, getting pregnant out of wedlock today is um you know kind of, what's the word, the norm, common, and it doesn't bother me. But back when I was conceived, in the funniest way that I've ever, my mother told me about it, and I don't want to talk about it, but it was very different back then compared today. So, Allie, I would love to hear that story. If you ever want to take a link and tell us that story, I'm not pressuring you, but it just intrigues me. That was back in the day. Yeah. I know, right, Colin? Like, woo, the stories I've heard. Very scandalous. You're welcome, Colin. You're welcome. More common. Yes. Thank you, Sicilian Princess. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you so much. My dad thought his bio mom was his sister for most of his life. I've heard of that. He was adopted by his grandparents. He learned later his sister was his bio mother. I've actually heard of that, Allie. Um, that was pretty common back then because it was so, you know, scandalous to get pregnant out of wedlock. Here's the funny thing, it fucking happened. People just hid it, right? I don't even think it happened or happens as much today as it did back then, maybe a little bit, but it still happened back in the day. People just hid it better. You know what I mean? Maria, I'm told too much sometimes and can't say nothing. Well, Colin, if it's about me, I want to hear it and you can say it because I'm pretty much an open book. So if it's about me, you can always say anything you want. It is sad. It is. Yes, Allie. Like, it's been happening for centuries, y'all. They just decided to cover it up and we don't care anymore. You know what I mean? We just don't. We're just like, okay, well, it is what it is. Honest to God. It's crazy to me. It's just crazy. My mother is my sister. What do you mean, Sicilian Princess? Your mother's your sister? Is that like this situation that Allie was talking about? Or are you saying, oh my God, you would flip if you find that out? Oh, okay. I think that's what you're saying. I know, but I've heard of that. Like, honestly, I'm shocked that my grandmother didn't claim me as her own and put me off as my mother's sister. She didn't, but it wouldn't have shocked me. You know what I mean? I got you, Sicilian Princess. I misunderstood for a second. But it was a common thing, especially I think it was pretty common in Catholic families. My family is not Catholic, but it was very common, back when I was born, even for the actual grandmother to fake that she was the actual mother, and then the mother was the sister. I mean, it really did happen a lot. Didn't happen to me, but it happened. And I'm not gonna, I'm not here to discredit or dog either of my bio parents, but I will say this. Neither of them were ready. My mother was 15 and my father was 18. And neither of them were ready. And I do give them grace for that because um, I was 20 when I got pregnant with my first child out of wedlock. I'm not ashamed of it. It happened. And even at the tender age of 20, I wasn't completely ready. So I can't even imagine being, you know, a sophomore in high school in the early 70s. Like I give my mother a ton of grace. Did she do the best job? No. But I do believe she did her very best. I do believe that. And that's where the grace comes in. Um, you know, and she did her best. And I appreciate all she did. Because again, if I was pregnant at 15, because I wasn't ready at 20, so I can only imagine being 15 and pregnant. You know what I mean? It was to save face. Yes. Yes, life is life, and we learn as we go. That's right, Colin. Right. Right. So, okay, y'all. I think I'm probably going to end this. I usually don't like to stay live for more than an hour, and I'm creeping up on an hour. Back in these days, they try to keep it hidden. Yes, they did. They did. And Sicilian Princess, sometimes they were very good at keeping it hidden, and other times they weren't. But I do want to revisit this subject with Colin, because Colin, I know that I have heard from someone on the other side through you, but there's another person that I would like to hear from regarding this particular situation. So if you could try to channel that person, that would be great. All right, y'all, I gotta go because my dogs are going nuts, and I love y'all, and good night. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Colin, find out. Talk to that person for me. I love you, brother. Bye.